Welcome back to Bombastic Nation and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm man Mr. Anderson. No, Mr. Anderson. Who is Mr. Anderson? I am Mr. Giant. Who is Mr. Anderson? Isn't that some wrestler or something? I know most of y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about, but there's a wrestler that comes out and says, Mr. Anderson. For some reason, I have him on my mind, but I'm Mr. Giant. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for watching this with me and thing like that. Toss me them likes. It helps out a lot, you know. And keep commenting. Love the comments. Love the stories y'all are telling. Love the corrections to the history. Love everything about it. You know, even when somebody act crazy or they troll a little. Hey, what can I say? You know what I mean? But we're going to watch this one. Yeah, someone suggested that I watch it. It's called The Greatest Speech in History, Alexander the Great and the Opis Mutiny. So I want to see him as an orator too. You know what I mean? How we talk to the people, because you have to have some kind of charisma that have these people lead you 8 years away from home. You know what I mean? To have to lead these people and keep them away from home for 8 years, conquering lands. So you have to be like a powerful speaker to do that. So let's go ahead and YouTube and sim and check this out.
What I'm about to say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you can go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me, and how I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip. When he found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities, with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves into rulers over those very barbarians who used to...
You ever realize when they're reenacting something like a speech or something, those people always sound like they're British? Why is that? They always sound like the English or something, you know. Oh, they enunciate and everything.
To plunder your land. He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put the mines to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebans, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humbled, myself playing my small part in the war, that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia, but instead depend upon us for their protection. My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. Then he was declared supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians, an honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you've gained from me.
Wow. He laying it on thick in this one. He's playing on some serious emotions in this one there, because, you know, he said, hey, how you going to disrespect me? Look all that I've done for you. I guess back then that would work. I don't think that would work now, because people would be shouting, you ain't done nothing for me. I'm working paycheck to paycheck, at least where I am.
I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians still commanded the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius, and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolis, Phrygia, and...
You see, he's saying, and made you rulers of. You know, he didn't say made me the ruler of. So the speech is including them as leaders of other people. Man, that's just bringing a really. So then every superpower, so every superpower thinks, or could it be everybody that lives within that superpower to some degree think that they lead the world because their country is the best in the world according to them? And this is just a general statement. I'm not picking on any country here. I'm just saying, could it be that's the same mentality? I don't see why not, because we're human. We're going to react the same way. We're going to change the way we think, even when it's not working.
Lydia, and took Miletus by siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours. All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are yours now. Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea. You are now satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. No man can point to my riches, only the things I hold in trust for you all.
He's good.
What would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I have spent the night on watch so that you could sleep soundly. Who among you believes he's worked harder for me than I have for him? Come on! If you've got scars, strip and show them to me. I'll show you mine. There isn't one part of my body, the front of...
There's not a leader that we know now, except in somewhere out there, I guess, but in big countries who could say that. I'll show you my scars, and the actual scars. You show me mine, because I'm out there fighting with you. No, nowadays they sit in a big house and they go, come on, you poor people, go kill, go kill. But he's saying, you know, hey, I got the same scars as you, man. I'm out here banging too.
At least that doesn't bear a wound. My body's covered in scars from every weapon you can think of. Swords, arrows, stones, clubs. All for the sake of your lives, your glory, and your wealth. And yet here I still am, leading you, as conqueror of land and sea, rivers, mountains, and the plains. We've celebrated our weddings together. Many of your children will...
You see, first he touched on the guilt tripping. Look at what I've done for you and stuff like that. And now he's going into the personal side of it. Brilliant, brilliant. The segue was nice too. Segue from saying, look what I've done to you, to, hey, look, we have celebrated our weddings together. Get personal on them.
Will be cousins of my own. I've paid off your debts without asking how you got them, even though you're paid well enough and pillage every city we take. Many of you wear golden crowns, badges of courage and honor given you by me. Any one of us who was killed, who met a glorious end, we buried with full honors. Many now stand immortalized by bronze statues in Macedonia. Their families are honored and pay no taxes. Under my command, not one man has been killed fleeing the enemy. And now I wanted to send back some of you who've been wounded or crippled, who have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since you all wish to go, then all of you, go! Go home and tell them that your king, Alexander, conqueror of the Persians, Medes, Bactrians, and Scythians, who now rules over the Parthians, Chorasmians, and Hyrcanians as far as the Caspian Sea, who's marched over the mountains of the Hindu Kush, crossed the Oxus and Tanais rivers, even the Indus, first to cross it since Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis too if you hadn't cowered in fear. Who sailed into the
No, he's
great
getting
sea
passionate.
from the mouth of the Indus. Who crossed the desert of Gadrosia, where no one had ever led an army. Who took Carmenia, while my fleet sailed the Persian Gulf. When you get home, you tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him and went home, leaving him under the protection of the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men, and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Wow.
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters.
Man, that was a speech, boy. That was a speech right there. It's like different levels of emotions and guilt and stuff to say, I've done this for you. I mean, I guess they didn't call it guilting back then, but he was really persuasive because, you know, they end up having forgiveness and reconciliation. My man was really throwing it down. Hey, I'm going to leave a link in the description for this video. Go check it out. Go check out the channel, see what they have and take, you know, and, you know, watch it without me cutting in. But what a speech, boy. I mean, it was a crescendo. You know, he started off making them go, I did this for you. Then he said, your families, we all had weddings and stuff, touched the emotional. And then he started to rise, get the voice going up, if that's the way it was done. Because remember, it's a recreation. But anyway, thank you all for watching this with me and Ting. Keep watching, though. Just click on the bars and stuff. I think it's down here now. So just click on it and keep watching, man. Binge watch. YouTube and Simmer. All right? In the meantime, man, you all take care of each other, all right?